I'm reaching out because I'm in a whirlwind of emotions and really need some outside perspectives. I, 29F, recently ended a serious relationship with my boyfriend, 35M, and honestly, it's been an emotional roller coaster. I'm still processing everything and looking for advice on how to move forward. We had been together for over 3 years, and while things were generally great, there were a few underlying issues that became impossible to ignore. One of the biggest problems was his addiction to porn and his behavior on Instagram. Initially, I thought I could handle it, but things took a turn for the worse. Our relationship started out like a fairy tale. We met through mutual friends at a music festival and instantly hit it off. He was charming, intelligent, and seemed to have a zest for life that I admired. We bonded over our shared interests in indie music, hiking, and a love for classic films. He was the kind of guy who could make me laugh even on my worst days. For the first year or so, everything felt perfect. We traveled together, celebrated milestones, and had deep conversations about our future. But as time went on, I noticed some small, unsettling behaviors that I brushed off at first. It started with his social media habits. He followed a huge number of women on Instagram, many of whom were influencers and adult content creators. At first, I was fine with it. I understood that social media is a big part of modern life, and I didn't want to be the kind of partner who controlled every aspect of his online presence. However, things began to escalate when he started liking and commenting on posts from local women he had known or had past relationships with. It wasn't just the occasional like, he was obsessively engaging with their content. This behavior made me uncomfortable, but I tried to be understanding. I told him that this crossed a boundary for me and asked him to respect my feelings. To his credit, he took some action initially. He deleted about 20 accounts and claimed he wanted to delete his Instagram altogether. I was hopeful that this would resolve the issue, but I should have known better. As time passed, I noticed he was still interacting with the same type of accounts and even some new ones. When I confronted him again, he was defensive and dismissive. He admitted to hiding his Instagram activity from me, claiming that he didn't want me to see how much time he spent liking posts. His reaction was infuriating. He accused me of being paranoid and of snooping. He even went as far as to block me on social media. Despite the drama, he did try to reach out. He called me in a panic, sounding genuinely emotional. He apologized profusely and professed his love, saying that he was working on his porn addiction and wanted to make things right. His words felt sincere, but his actions told a different story. During this time, I was dealing with a whirlwind of emotions. I was heartbroken, angry, and confused. I wanted to believe that he could change, but the trust had been shattered. I found myself replaying our arguments and second-guessing every decision I had made. To make matters worse, I discovered that his addiction to porn was more severe than I had realized. He had been hiding his online activities not just from me but also from his close friends. I learned this from a mutual friend who had noticed his erratic behavior and was concerned about his well-being. It felt like I was the last to know everything. I also found out that he had been secretly seeing a therapist for his addiction, which he never mentioned to me. While I appreciated that he was seeking help, it also made me feel more isolated. It was like he was battling his demons on his own while I was left in the dark. After a particularly heated argument where he belittled my concerns and made me feel like I was being unreasonable, I made the painful decision to end the relationship. I told him that I couldn't be with someone who was hiding things from me and whose behavior was making me question my own sanity. I packed my things and left our shared apartment. The breakup was messy. He tried to convince me to stay, saying that we could work things out and that he would change. But deep down, I knew that I couldn't go back to a relationship built on deceit and broken trust. Since the breakup, I've been struggling to cope. I've thrown myself into work and have been trying to focus on my own well-being. I've started seeing a therapist to work through my feelings and to rebuild my self-esteem. It's been a challenging process, but I'm slowly starting to find my footing. I've also reconnected with friends and family who have been incredibly supportive. Their encouragement has been a lifeline during this tumultuous time. I've taken up new hobbies and tried to focus on self-improvement. I've started attending a yoga class and have found solace in nature through hiking. Here's where I'm struggling the most: I'm still deeply in love with him. Despite everything that happened, I still care about him and wish things could have been different. I'm haunted by the memories of the good times we had and the future we had planned together. I'm wondering if it's worth considering reconciliation if he genuinely shows commitment to change, or if I should move on entirely. The idea of reopening old wounds and the possibility of being hurt again terrifies me. Questions for you. Is it worth giving him another chance if he shows real effort to change? How do I deal with lingering feelings of love and heartbreak? What steps can I take to ensure I don't fall into a similar situation in the future? Thank you in advance for your advice and support. This community has always been a source of comfort for me, and I appreciate any insights you can offer as I navigate this difficult time.